Welcome to the Emissary of Learning. Join me on my learning journey as we proceed through eternal formats in Magic the Gathering. Class is in session. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Emissary of Learning. I'm your fellow learner, and tonight we're playing some Modern. This is Affinity. It's mostly mono blue with a splash of green. We'll touch on that in a moment. This is a personal favourite deck of mine, one I've been playing in paper for many of you who aren't necessarily aware. Affinity for artifacts, powerful ability that makes the cost of the spell cost one colourless less for each artifact you control. I think first introduced in Mirrodin, as you can see, with Frogmite. So you play a bunch of artifact lands, like so, which of course equivalent to 2 mana. You can tap for 1 and it itself is an artifact, to then power out some overpriced but undercosted cards in this deck, like 4/4s that are often for free. You get, of course, the Urza's Saga land. This deck has been in somewhat ebb and flow. When Mox Opal was legal, then of course it was in very much a strong position. I think it was even the boogeyman of the format. They banned Mox Opal, took a big hit on this one, and they printed Urza's Saga and it got revitalized, and then it got, I think, power crept out with some of these more powerful cards. I did play a lot of this in a couple of years ago, qualified for an RCQ with it and everything. Very enjoyable deck. It just kind of works for me, and I like the play patterns. Then recently in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, this one is the from the Vault, I think it was called, the Vault, not from the Vault, the Vault. This Simulacrum Synthesizer powerhouse, 3 mana slots right in here. Scry 2 and enters, and then when another artifact with mana value 3 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you get a 0/0 construct that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control, basically powering out a bunch of these equivalent constructs you get from Saga. Really excited to play this. The other big innovation or update, of course, is the Lava Spur Boots. Absolute bomb. This one can be searched out and can give your newly created constructs with Urza's Saga haste to really decrease the clock on this one. I'm excited to play it. Sideboard has some standard stuff. Curse Totem for things like Hardened Scales or Yorg. We've got Haywire Mine, Pick Your Poison, just to slow down things like the Leyline, Zoo, and other things that use the artifact, enchantment, or creature to fly. I have to say, I'm really impressed with Pick Your Poison. When I'm playing Scales, for example, I'll often have a couple in the main deck, often will have a target. Then some other stuff, Orvar the Allform, just because creativity has been making a bit of a comeback. I took this list from a fairly large tournament that this, I think, was top 32, so it's not necessarily going to break the meta, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's dive in. This is Modern Affinity. We're on the play for round number 1. Going to display the companion. I didn't even mention that in the earlier deck tech part. We have a Gigantha because we can, and it does serve some purpose in the later game. Okay, so we have a pretty fast hand that can play a turn 2 attacking Frogmite. I think we'll keep this. We need 1 more mana, whether it's a Springleaf or something else, to get the Simulacrum going. But I think we can probably keep this. Let's try. Pepilameco, opponent here with the Capybara, chilled out, basking Capybara, excellent. It is, of course, no round Overseer. God, I love this guy. Okay, opponent also kept 7, so let's go basic island, and when they let us get to our main phase. So we can play first turn island into Springleaf Drum. If we want to, we can play the Memnite, which will then let us play the Lava Spur Boots. Okay, we'll just hide the Gigantha and open it like this. Okay, so opponent has let us get to our main. We'll play an island, play a Springleaf Drum, play a Memnite for 0, and then play the Lava Spur Boots And next turn, we only have 3 artifacts, not enough to get a Frogmite, but that's okay. What we're really looking for is an untapped mana source. I think best draw here would be a Darksteel Citadel. What that let us do is play oh no, that's not going to work now. They've just lightning bolted the Memnite. So here we go. Nettle Cyst. Alright, so we are in some trouble. That was a good play. So we can't cast anything because this one still costs 2. We only have 1. We're going to have to pass the turn. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. Maybe Burn. Could be any number of many decks play Lightning Bolt. Okay, so it's not likely to be Burn. Scalding Tarn. Maybe Murktide. They've gone to their second main for some reason and then stopped. I need to get these updated to be the Mirrodin version. That's what I do in paper. I do like those original Mirrodin basic lands. Okay, so opponent's past turn, not much, just played a Scalding Tarn. Let's hope for some mana here. We really need that. They may be planning some shenanigans, but let's see. Maybe an icing of my land. Again, Darksteel Citadel is probably our best draw. Okay, not a good draw. We are in some trouble here. Maybe the risky keep, but let's see. Maybe not playing the Memnite out, but I really like to get, using all the mana, getting the Lava Spur Boots in so that we can start really going off next turn. Okay, opponents searched for Xander's Lounge with their Scalding Tarn, then played a Polluted Delta and are playing an Ancestral Vision. Okay, playing their Ancestral Vision. Okay, what have we got here? Come on, don't fail me now, deck. Darksteel Citadel. Let's do this. Opponent likes to take a moment in my upkeep every time. Okay, Spire of Industry. I don't hate it. I'll take it. I will take... Now, wait a second. Wait. I actually think we're going to search for... Yeah, I think what we need to do is get things going here by... I'm actually going to pass the turn. I'm going to search for an artifact land with my Sojourner's Companion by artifact land cycling. I think it's important to get the mana under us. If we play a Frogmite, they can just bolt it or what have you. At least this way I'll get 3, and that's when I can start generating some real value here. Thundering Falls, opponent searches for that. Surveil trigger. And they put a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, is this a Wizard's deck? Ancestral Vision, counting down. Wonderful card. Very exciting. When this was printed back in Time Spiral. Lot of hype around that. Okay, here we go. Let's hope they haven't got a Tidebinder, actually. Artifact land cycling. We're going to try and get this. Try not to Tidebinder that, please. I'd like to get the Simulacrum Synthesizer in play. They're tapping. Okay. Kolagon's Command. They discard a card and destroy an artifact. So I'm going to discard my Nettle Cyst, and they've destroyed an artifact. I can get Darksteel Citadel. Okay, opponent's tapped out, so we can produce 3 mana here. I think we need to play the Synthesizer while we can. It may have a Force of Negation. They do not. Scry 2. We can bottom the Darksteel Citadel, and we can keep... I think we keep the Memnite, because that will let us play Frogmite even if they destroy some of our stuff. Okay, so it's a lot slower a game, but their Ancestral Vision is still 2 full turns away from being useful. I have 5 cards left in hand. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we're going to play our land, and then we start generating some free constructs. Here we go. Frogmite. Now it's not on cast, this is on enter, so they may want to counter this. Counter spell, okay, that's 1 down. Let's play a Memnite and a Frogmite. Okay, so we are cooking. Now we can equip the Lava Spur Boots to the big guy and swing for 8. That's the new construct token from new printing token. Okay, here we go. So we get to hit for 8. They're dead on board. Let's see what they have to say about this. Suspend too slow for that. I think the best draw will be, depending on what they do, if they clear everything, maybe it'll be an Urza's Saga, but I think a big artifact, a 3 or more spell artifact, will be what I'm looking for here to keep the Simulacrum Synthesizing. Okay, Polluted Delta, fetch. Search for basic swamp. And tap, was it Molten Collapse? Black and red in the pool. Opponent thinking long and hard whether to reveal the Molten Collapse. Okay, so they are destroying, because they did descend, which is you put a permanent in there, destroying a creature and a non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. Okay, so they must have a bounce spell for my construct, because otherwise, or another kill spell, it doesn't make any sense. They're probably going to kill the rest of the board here. Maybe they killed a Mem Knight. No, they can't kill that with a Molten Collapse. Let's see what they do here. Polygon's command number 2? No. Okay. Looks like they're passing the turn. I wouldn't be surprised if they have something to deal with this construct. What I need to do is keep drawing gas. That's not gas. So we're going to go to attacks and try and swing in for 6. Opponent has 3 cards left in hand. What I like about the synthesizer here is it turns any top deck that's usually somewhat anemic into an absolute powerhouse. Okay, so Snapcaster is going to go for a bolt, I imagine. Maybe double block the construct. Okay, kills the Mem Knight and takes 4. Okay, so we will play the land and just had them thinking about it. I know an extra 1 damage could have been there, but I wanted them thinking about what could be in my hand. The extra 1 I didn't think would be the end of the world. Now, really looking to stop drawing lands now that I've been drawing them 1 by 1. Let's hope we can get something a little bit more exciting. Opponent does have 6 cards in the hand as their Ancestral Vision. For 1 mana, drew them 3 cards. Okay, Undercity Sewers, Surveil 1. Let's see what they're going to do with this. Okay, and they left their card on top of the library. That's disappointing. And they play themselves a Jace Reawakened. Okay, so they're going to exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from their hand, and if they do, it becomes plotted, which is Volky. Okay, great. Now they're going to cast Volky for 2 next turn. Next turn, and what does it do? Exile the top card of the library, exile artifact or creature, or exile. I really need a good deck, top deck now. That was not it. Okay, we can go to the next one. There's nothing left to be done here. Okay, opponent on a Hibernation won't be helpful. Orvar, All Form won't be helpful. Pick Your Poison will do nothing. Damping Sphere won't do anything. Cursed Totem won't do anything. Maybe a Graph Diggers to stop the Snapcaster from casting it in the graveyard. I don't think Shadow Spear is what's needed in this. We're going to just make 1 change and then go straight back in. Okay, maybe you should have gone for Gigantha earlier. Who knows? Okay, this is why we're trying to play. All just trying to learn. We're going to go on the play and we'll reveal our Gigantha and we'll go into our turn. So, what does this can do? This casts 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts by turn 2. This comes and play tapped. Turn 2 will have 4. This doesn't do much in that way. With another artifact or land, this will do well. We can get. So let's plan this out. Let's say we draw a dud. Let's say we draw another Simulacrum Synthesizer next turn. We can play the Tanglepool, play the 2 Mem Knights. Next turn we play Ether Spellbomb, so we'll have 4 in play. It doesn't do anything. We have to mulligan this one. It's just too slow. By turn 3 to just kind of get a couple of 1/1s is just not good enough. Okay, this one we can keep. We're going to keep this. We can't go too low. We can play a Mem Knight and Moon Snare Prototype to get a Lava Spur Boots in. Next turn we can, I think it's got to be the Synthesizer. We're just too far away from there. Or is it the Mirror Enforcer? It might be the Mirror Enforcer. I'm sorry, Mirror Enforcer, I love you. I like Moonsnare, not as much a Soul as oh my goodness, I'm suddenly blanking. Springleaf Drum. So I was going to say Soul Guide Lantern, but that's not what I'm talking about. I like it's not as good as Springleaf Drum, but it is a good little card. We're going to cast this. We're going to play a Mem Knight, get our Lava Spur Boots in. They're not going to force a negation this, are they? It's awfully aggressive if they do. God, that art looks cool, doesn't it? Okay, so this Moonsnare prototype, really giving them something to think about. I wonder if they do have the force of negation, just thinking about if they want to counter this. I think I'm fine with that if they do. It'll slow me down, but also that's a 2-for-1. All day long. Okay, they've let it resolve. Let's Mem Knight, and then Lava Spur Boots. If we can draw, again, Darksteel Citadel one more time. If we can do that next turn, I think we'll be in a pretty good position because we can Simulacrum Synthesizer into Frogmite, and then we have 10 power or so on board already. Okay, we've only got 3. This still costs 1, so nothing we can do on this, so we shall pass the turn. Not bad for first turn, but not unbelievable. Bolt, okay, that was to be expected. Again, if we can please get ourselves a Darksteel Citadel, that will lead us in nicely for the Simulacrum Synthesizer. Okay. We can play... Okay. We can tap 1 to play the Grafdigger's. Then play a Frogmite. And then pass. Now, the reason I was taking a moment to and ah was because it might have been worth holding it off in case we draw a land next turn. This immediately produces a construct, but I don't think that's right. I think we've got to get the power out there. So, all right, opponent plays Scalding Tarn, immediately cracking it and searching for a Watery Grave, shocking it in, and then going to Molten Collapse, I'm sure. Frogmite and Lava Spur Boots, maybe the Grafdiggers if that's a big problem for them. And Molten Collapse, what a card. Molten Collapse, yeah, okay, nice little 2-for-1. Alright, we still need a land, and I think we're okay. We get a Darksteel Citadel, then we can play our Simulacrum Synthesizer. Let's go. Come on then, off the top. Ah, not quite. We are going to play it, because why not? Then we're going to equip, and we're going to attack for 1, because life's too short not to. And in case you're thinking, Emissary, Emissary. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be thinking that. I'm not an emissary. I'm instead a learner. But you might be saying, fellow learner, you might be saying, why didn't you keep that back so that when you play the Simulacrum Synthesizer, then you'll get another... False. This is only for mana value 3 or greater. Okay, opponent, 6 cards left in hand. Managed to stave off this. And they cast Ancestral Vision into the void there with a Raucous Theatre Surveil. My goodness, it's a similar game that's playing out here, isn't it? Where I'm just desperately hoping for a Darksteel Citadel. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, Spire of Industry. Let's do it. That will have to suffice, and I'm fine with that. We're going to play a Spire. We're going to tap an untapped artifact, which will be the Lava Spur Boots. And we're going to play my Simulacrum Synthesizer. All we need here is to trigger... Okay, both of these will trigger. I think we'll put Frogmite underneath the Nettle Cyst, because if they do get rid of the Synchronizer, the Nettle Cyst is better. Then we'll go into attack, manage to tap the equipment that doesn't make any difference, and then pass the turn. Okay, they need to do something pretty quick, but again, we've seen them do it in the past. Let's see what they can do this time. Ancestral Vision, another suspend counter off this vision. Definitely the thing that won them that last game, drawing 3 cards. A very strong ability there. Okay, opponent still has 4 and plays an island, passes the turn. Alright, let's start. Let's see what opponent does here. They have paused once more in my upkeep. I think they have forgotten perhaps that they don't have to wait every single time in my upkeep, and they're now in my draw. Okay, not sure why they did that, but alright, we're going to start by tapping an untapped artifact or creature. We're going to tap the Lava Spur, and we're going to play a Nettle Cyst. See if they have the counterspell. We're going to make them have it. I presume they do. They have 4 cards in hand and 4 mana available, 2 of which is blue. They do not. Okay. Alright, we're going to make some big beaters here. They have a They have a Tidebinder to stop the Simulacrum? No. Okay. Unfortunately, not enough mana to equip the various big creatures, so we're going to swing in with just the small one. But we do have them dead on board. So, okay, what are they going to do? Bounce. Return all artifacts target player owns. Okay. That's fine. We're going to cast... Are we? No, we don't need to. Let's pass. My thoughts are they could be lightning bolting it if I replay it, and I'd rather it is around for the Moon Snare prototype. And it can only attack with any value. It's got the Lava Spur boots, which gives it haste anyway, so... Okay. They managed to have the Hercules recall, which is a little bit frustrating, but so be it. Okay. They're in their second main. They do like to pause in their second main. And we're back. Okay. My turn. We can play the Moon Snare. We can play the Lava Spur. We can play the Ornithopter. We can equip... I don't think it's worth playing the Frogmite. I think forcing them to... Yeah, okay, perfect. Forcing them to use their interaction on an Ornithopter whilst I've got a Simulacrum Synthesizer in my hand seems like the right thing to do here. I can pass turn. They know what my hand is if they've been keeping track, so I'm going to pass. Possibly not the... No, the Frogmite as well. I pass. Let's see what they do with this. Okay. Opponent does nothing. The Ancestral Vision is going to pop next turn. Okay, Darksteel Citadel. Let's do what we can, which is put the Simulacrum Synthesizer on the stack. They must have a counterspell. They're not going to let this go through, surely. Okay, there's the counterspell. Then we can play this for 1. Do I want to do that? Hanging it out there does... it does seem worth it. Let's play this nevertheless. Without the Synthesizer, there's no reason to hold back the creatures. We can still attack, and if we play next turn, we can play the Nettle Cyst and equip the Lava Spur boost to the Nettle Cyst and attack with that. So if they have a Hercules recall, then so be it. Which they do. Ancestral Vision goes off. So they've used 2 recalls. They do have Snapcasters in their deck, and they have just drawn 3 cards and drawing for turn. So they were down to 1 and now up to 5. So we are in some kind of trouble here. I'm also on 5, but only because they bounced all my stuff. Okay. Another pretty exciting card that came out of the Modern Horizons 2 was the Nettle Cyst. Pretty big and scary. 3 is a lot, but pretty big and scary. Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer. Discarding 2 cards. They're discarding Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push. Okay, and they're getting a couple of Elemental tokens. Alright, so let's do this. Opponent, 3 cards in hand. Time to rip a Synthesizer. Oh, Urza's Saga. Fine by me. We're going to play the Saga. And this is going to start to get us back. I think we'll play the Nettle Cyst. If they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell, but I also have a Saga countering. Okay, they have the counterspell. That's fine. There's only so much they can do when they have an Urza's Saga bearing down on them. My goodness, I love this card. Urza's Saga. Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer with a interesting printing. What's this? Modern promotional cards. Okay. Still being looked at from the art of the Gigantha with no reason to put this in my hand yet. No way to cast it. No, I've got lots of things using my mana every turn. It's just watching over, judging as he does. Gigantha. Wellspring. Okay, opponent 3 cards in hand. What are the chances they have a counterspell? We shall soon find out. So, Urza's Saga goes for 2 counters. We'll play a land. Now, if we play a Lava Spur... Ooh, cancel. Start with a Moon Snare prototype. We now have 2 artifacts in play. I think if we create a construct, we can unload everything. Okay. So here's the thing. If they have... I think we have to create a construct. My thought process was that they might have a spell like... they've probably got something like a Fatal Push or a Lightning Bolt. But with this, we now have a spell that we can play a Lava Spur Boots by tapping the construct, and this is their point to do something. Okay, play a Frogmite and play a Frogmite, and suddenly they need a Fatal Push, or a, I don't know, maybe they have an Unholy Heat, but okay, and we pass the turn. Urza's Saga, digging you out of trouble since whenever this came out, 2021 or whenever, doesn't say. Modern Horizon 3 on the horizon. Should be interesting. Some overpowered cards, completely redefining the format, no doubt. As per usual. Alright, Pepelameko, what's the plan? I'm out of cards. There's nothing I can do. Opponent plays an island, and I believe passes the turn. Attack with everything. Okay, I mean, we're going to block, make the obvious blocks, see what they have to say about this. I didn't want to kill this one because from the graveyard you get more tokens, no idea what their plan is, and I'd rather keep my guys here, see what they have to do. 4 mana, Damnation. Okay, but that's okay, we have the Urza Saga. Urza Saga ticks up. Oh yes. Create another construct, and then we'll search. And I think we probably want to search for... Do we need more mana? We might need more mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spell Bomb, I don't think. With more mana we can get the Gigantha into play. They've got 2 cards left. I think we shall go for the Springleaf. Saga. We can now equip the construct. And we can swing. Yes, I think. Just think about whether I want to put Gigantha in hand, but no. Who are we kidding? Let's attack with this. Okay. We actually have them dead on board if we draw an artifact. 6, 7, 8. No, not quite. Learn to do maths, please. Thank you. They, of course, have their Seasoned Pyromancer as backup if they need to. We have another construct token that we can use to attack. Another Damnation. That's fine. That's okay. We have another Urza Saga, and if they do a Damnation a turn, there's only so much they can do. Okay, what else have they got? Okay, looks like they're passing their turn. I would like something exciting, but I have been happy with Double Saga. I'm not going to complain. Oh. Yes. Yes. We're going to create a construct. My opponent is not going to be best pleased about this. What could I have drawn? What could I have drawn? What could I have drawn? Another Saga, please. Thank you. Let's see if that gets the concession. Okay, I mean, we're going to equip the Lava Spur Boots, as always. And then we're going to attack again. Maybe just one more Urza Saga for the final humiliation. Still not quite enough mana to get the Gigantha in my hand, but endless streams of Urza Saga coming off the top have been quite a delight, if I'm being honest. Let's see if they're going to exile their Pyromancer. It's not an unreasonable thing to do. There it is. Of course, Lava Spur Boots does not give haste. Give trample, it just gives haste, but you know what does give trample? Shadow Spear, which of course I very cleverly boarded out. Okay, so they've also cast, what have they done here? Oh, they've cast a Seasoned Pyromancer from hand. Sorry, I thought it was from graveyard. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. We have a Sojourner's Companion. So first things first is we're going to create a construct. Okay, they're going to crack their Polluted Delta in response. Searching up a Undercity Sewers. So they'll trigger on the stack. They put Anger the Gods into the graveyard. Okay. Yeah, they realize that's not quite what this game's going to be about, as my tokens get enormous. I get to search. I'll search for a Ether Spellbomb. Then we shall play a Sojourner's Companion for free. We can equip the Lava Spur to my construct here. We can tap my Springleaf. No. Yes, tap my Springleaf to add a blue. Am I being greedy? They have one card left in the hand. I think we need to get rid of it. We're going to bounce the token and swing for lethal unless they have something that they can do here. Ah, game was awesome. Relentless pummeling from the best land ever printed. Okay, so a lot of damnation. That's not what this game's going to be about. Is there anything else that I need to worry about? Didn't really have any artifacts or enchantments. They had a lot of instants, a lot of graveyard. Maybe I put one Relic of Progenitus, take out a single Nettle Cyst, which is maybe an Ether Spellbolt. I know it saved me that game, but I think a lot of their cards, their creatures are quite weak and actually have ETBs. I don't want to be bouncing their Pyromancers or their Snapcaster Mages. Let's see if this helps. I like how lean the lands are, just 18. 8 0 drops, wonderful. 10 1 drops, and then we go 3, 4, and then we start to get to the big money. So this should go down here. Big money 7s. This deck is awesome. Haven't really managed to do the whole chaining Thought Monitors and Thoughtcasts yet, but not complaining. I think the deck is performing nicely. The Moonsnare prototype actually working quite nicely here. Simulacrum Synthesizer, obvious powerhouse. Frogmite, look at that art. Therese Nilsson, you've done it again. And of course this, the Dalkin, I guess. Wizard. 1 mana, draw 2 cards. Busted. Sometimes it's 5 mana, shouldn't be in this deck. Only playing 2. We are in an Orcish Bowmaster world, as much as I might dislike it. Just playing 8 cast for a while in Legacy, in paper, but it really got hit hard from Bowmaster. Most of the deck involved playing things like Emry, that's 2 toughness, and Thought Monitor, which is 2 toughness, and drawing cards. So very easy to disrupt the engine. Playing a Thought card to draw 2 cards, immediately it dies and grows their Orc Army token. It was really tough. So I started doing things like running Gut Shot, but that's pretty mediocre as a card in general. I know a lot of decks started incorporating black. I started using Plague Engineer to try and get rid of their armies, just naming Orc, things like this. So either way, I ended up kind of transitioning away from that for the time being, as Bowmaster ran so rampant. I think in my local meta, it was every deck basically ran it. Okay, we are of course on the draw in the final game of this round. We have a no lander, but we can't keep this. It doesn't do anything. Mulligan. Okay, I mean, we have a double Urza Saga hand with the land to cast or to activate it. We have the Moonsnare. I think that with 1, 2, how's this turn going to go? First turn we play Moonsnare. Next turn we play Saga, and we cycle Sojourners for a land. Maybe we bottom the Frogmite because we can draw off of that. So I think we're going to keep this. We're going to bottom the Frogmite and see how that goes. Of course, I'd love to draw a Simulacrum Synthesizer, but I almost always want to draw a Simulacrum Synthesizer. Most of my life involves wanting to draw a Simulacrum Synthesizer. Okay, J3 Awakened. This is the Phyrexian version. You may exile an on-land card from your hand, cast Plotted, or until return, cast a spell, copy it. Okay, it's a cool card. Let's start with Island. Oops. Island into Moonsnare, as discussed, and then pass the turn. Thundering Falls, fantastic card. Alright. Opponent plays an Undercity Sewers. They are surveilling the bejesus out of what they're doing here. I think my plan stays the same. We Saga by Artifact Landcycling. This is of course why we play 4 of the Sojourners and only a couple of the Moon Forces. My goodness, I love this card. Used to play this in Standard and Kitchen Table a lot, but it just doesn't compare to the extra wording that you get on Sojourner's Companion. Okay, we're going to play a Saga. We now have 2 mana. This one is a million miles away. We have no other choice. We're probably going to still go for an artifact land with Sojourner's Companion, although we may not. We may just go straight into the Saga, Because we drew the land already, next turn we would have 3 mana, 4 mana, with 3 artifacts. We could play the Enforcer. Maybe we don't cycle this. Okay, opponent played a Otawara and then floated the suspended the Ancestral Vision. I decided to keep this spell for us here. Okay, so we can play a land. We can play a Springleaf. Moonsnare can always tap that if we need the extra mana. If they're going to counter a Springleaf, that would be irritating, but acceptable. Okay, so we got a counter spell out of their hand for the Springleaf. 1, 2 artifacts, nothing left for that, so we pass the turn. Maybe I should create the construct first to then create the spring. The reason I didn't, for the record, is that we'd get much more mana out of this. We'd have the extra creature to tap with the Springleaf, but it did mean we didn't get the construct here, but so be it. They might have a Hercule's Recall anyway, and there's limited things we can do around that. They floated another Ancestral Vision. Do I want to get another land? Don't think so. I think we're just going to start generating some constructs. Going to search. They're going to Lightning Bolt. I will tap this to create a mana, or to float a colorless. We can then get, maybe we'll need to get Grafdigger's. Let's see what we're doing with it. Wait a second. We have 1 floating. We play a land, we'll have another float, we'll have another Saga. So we have 2 mana and 3 artifacts. That's not enough to do anything with. So what instead we do is we get a Grafdigger's, we play the Tangle Pool. Yeah, I don't think we have any other choice. If we get Grafdiggers just to stop their potential shenanigans there, we play the Tangle Pool. Opponent's done quite well at keeping us just behind schedule, but okay. They have 2 Ancestral Visions that are about to come off suspend in a few turns, so I really need to stop them doing this. We have the Grafdiggers that unfortunately doesn't stop the visions, but it does stop the Snapcaster Mage, which of course is good. For some reason, the clock's gone down to 5, so here we go. I'm going to play a Saga, play the Saga. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with the Thoughtcast. Play slightly quicker as we're under 5 minutes. We can tap the Grafdiggers, play a Springleaf Drum, see if they counter this, play a Relic of Progenitus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we can play a Thought Monitor, draw 2. We can tap this Thought Monitor to play another Thought Monitor. We can play an Enforcer, and I think we'll need to pass it here. They may well have a Damnation, which they've been holding in, so we're going to keep something back along with the Saga as we try and get this across the line. Okay, they're searching, tapping their Scalding Tarn to search for a Surveil land. Okay, emergency Surveil land, that's what we want to see. And they've binned the island. Good. Okay. Now we're in business. Opponent taps 2, plays Hercule's Recall. That was why I wasn't afraid about playing my Thought Monitors, as they draw the cards as they come in. So, okay, we'll need to play a land. Start to unload here. Okay. I think we need to try and unload everything. So we will play a Springleaf Drum, play a Memnite, play a Prototype. See if they counter this. Okay, add a blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 6 mana, so we have to pass the turn. Okay, we'll pass. Coming off of suspend, they get to cast their visions. There are only 3 minutes left, so we have to start to pick things up. We're going to have 6. We have 5 cards in hand. Oh, fantastic card. It roams the skies over the quicksilver sea, alert for any hint of aberrant thought. Oh, fantastic flavor. Okay, I think we need to make ourselves a construct quickly. search for the Lava Spur boots, try and equip. Opponent deep in the tank, consulting whatever their inner monologue might be about getting. What are we doing about this? They might have another Fatal Push or a Kolagon's Command. Okay, so discard a card. I mean that. Okay, that I don't care. I'll discard this. Okay, they got rid of that. That's fine. We'll play another Saga. We'll play a Mirror Enforcer. We'll play a Frogmite. We will create a blue. Play a Thought Monitor. Draw 2 cards. Play a Thought Monitor. And we will equip to the Mirror Enforcer. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Targeting that. Okay, but they haven't got any mana, right? They know they need mana. Okay. It resolves. And then they can go to cast this. And we can go to combat. Okay, so again, we have them dead on board if they are not packing another Damnation or something of that ilk. Okay, Ancestral Vision, another 3 cards. Hopefully no more Hercules recalls, please. 1:18 left on the clock. Not a lot of time. I think I just need to try and power through quickly. They play a land, Scalding Tarn. They tap 4 for Damnation, okay. Target player. Okay, so we still have enough time if they don't have some more interactions. So let's see what we can do here. As we create a Saga token. We'll let that trigger. Create a Saga token. Mori. Play a Ornithopter. Play a Memnite. Equip with Lava Spur. The Fatal Push. Okay, we'll have to play a Nettle Cyst. Okay. "30 seconds left. If they have nothing, enough time to go through for the swing. But if they have something, it's going to be tough. "20 seconds. Create a construct. Search for something. Play a land. Play an Ornithopter. Equip Lava Spur boots. And go to combat. Okay, let's see what they have. 7 seconds left on the clock. And a Hercules recall. Nothing I can do about this. Okay, we lose from down to 4 life. Okay, so be it. So time was our enemy there. Alright, I'm on the play in round number 2. Reveal my Gigantha. And away we go. Alright, this is 1. Play this first turn. Second turn, we play this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we keep this. It's slightly slow, but it gets us pretty much there for a... is it a second turn Thought Monitor? Possibly a third. I might need one more artifact, but let's see. Start with a Tangle Pool and pass the turn. Up against Dark Drifter. King Darian. Right, opponent plays Island. And a Preordain. Okay. I'm glad they unbanned that. I don't think it's a major problem to have that unbanned. At least I've not seen it yet. Okay. One top, one bottom. And passing the turn. Okay. Maybe we're up against a Murktide. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay. So, if we play Darksteel Citadel and Moonsnare Prototype, I think we've got to get the Tanglepool Bridge in, because if we play Darksteel and Moonsnare, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need to play another Tanglepool, and we can play everything next turn. So, patience for one more turn. The reason I'm not playing out the Ornithopter is if they do have a discard spell, which this so far mono blue deck doesn't make me think it does. I doubt they're going to target the Ornithopter, but a lot of decks have a Lightning Bolt that may want to get rid of this if it's in play, and I want to use it as mana for the Moonsnare. Just hope they don't play an Orcish Bowmaster. It's always a pain against the Thought Monitor deck, but otherwise we're in good shape. Alright, Breeding Pool. Shocked. And Consider. Okay. Still not exactly sure. Hidden. Okay. Alright. Fine. Lotus Field combo. Okay. Let's do this. So we need to get pretty quick now. We're going to have to unload. Alright. Let's play some spells. Each one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll tap the Ornithopter and play a Thought Monitor. The Thought Monitor can only be one, even if we have all the artifacts in the world, so I like to play it out before the Sojourners. Okay. I think we can play one more, but I'm tempted to keep... Let's see here. Well, let's see. So we could play 3 of these. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we play these. The temptation is to hold them for the Simulacrum Synthesizer, but I think that this puts them to shock land dead on board, and the Synthesizer can be used to rebuild after, but throwing away all of this extra damage does seem a little bit careless, so let's see how we go with this. We've always got the Gigantha to reach for. I wonder if they're going to have any more companions in Modern Horizons 3. Artifact companion with 3 or more mana value, so you can search for it with Simulacrum. I doubt it. Companions were insane. Little fun fact for you, Lurrus, the companion that is basically banned in all formats, apart from Vintage, Lurrus was the first and only card that's ever been fully banned in Vintage for power level. There's other reasons that others have been banned, but this one for power level. Even after they changed the rule to add the what's bracketed here to say if it's your chosen companion, you can put it in your hand from outside the game for 3. It used to be, when it was originally made, you just had it. There was no reason to pay the 3, and that was too strong for Vintage and too strong for everything else. Okay, opponent taking a long time as I'm rambling away. Let's see what they decide to do. Just to make sure I play a bit faster this time as well. They will, of course, very likely done the same maths that I just did to see that they shock it a land and they get stuffed here. Let's see. Okay, so they've got the Lotus Field. They're sacking their 2 lands. They got the 2 blue. Let's see if they've got enough to go off. I think if I was against a mid-range, grinding, control deck, I'd have been more inclined to hold back the Synthesizer, but here I just need to get the damage there. Okay, they're choosing to tap my Thought Monitor when they also untap their field. Okay, they have the Vizier. Oh no! They've just played the Vizier. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so we can, I think we start by going to combat. Do we? Is there any reason not to? No, there is a reason not to, because we might draw Lava Spurt. Let's tap. We're not going to draw anything. What am I talking about? No, there's no reason, but we'll play this nevertheless. Play a Synthesizer. So my ramblings there, I was thinking about we might have, because we're going to draw cards with Thought Monitor, but actually it won't make any difference because we won't have the mana to play whatever we have, the boots, which would give haste. But let's see. They seem to be taking a long time. Do they play Force of Negation in this? I don't even know the latest lists. Okay, so maybe there's those few people who don't necessarily know what Lotus Field does. So Lotus Field is a fancy hexproof land that when it enters, you have to sacrifice 2 lands, but it does add 3 mana. So this deck uses a lot of untap effects like Hidden Strings, Vizier of Tumbling Sands, to untap. This one you normally would cycle it to untap a permanent, and it nets you mana. And then you use all that mana to deck yourself. Well, I don't know what the latest ones are, but often they will use that to breach Underworld Breach and then play a Thassa's Oracle. But I don't know what the latest lists are doing. Okay, Simulacrum Synthesizer Scry has been on the stack for a while as well. Okay, we don't need either of these cards. There's well past the need for those. So then we'll play a Thought Monitor. Actually, we can play. Yeah, we'll play the Thought Monitor. See what we're working with. So this puts them dead on board no matter what. I doubt they have much in the way of main deck artifact hate. They can get rid of this many lethal attackers once we've got this round through. So they need to win on their next turn. Moon Snare Prototype. Cool little common from Neon Dynasty. But my goodness, does this feel worse than Springleaf Drum? Okay, opponent taking a long time to accept all of the different triggers and spells on the stack. Each one of these, if you look, taking a long time, but fine. Okay. So we drew 2 of the same nevertheless. So be it, we're going to go to combat. They have to block 1 of these, I believe. Let's see. If not, they're going to be risky. I mean, they have nothing else to do. They have to probably make sure they've got their Vizier on board. Okay. I'd be tempted here not to block because 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, they keep a key untap effect for no. I don't think I would have blocked there. Ah, their land, I see. Their land, fair enough, maybe it was right. Here I am, talking shit while they clearly know what they're doing there. The One Ring. Hello, One Ring. Okay. Very nice. Well, they've gained protection from everything for the turn. Very nice. We have another this. So I do like Mirror Enforcer. I was playing a lot during Mirrodin block, and this really one of my favorite cards, probably of all time. And of course, they had to go and print this one, which unfortunately you have to use if you are fairly competitive because it's simply better. But it's just not as fun as look at this guy. Most Mir monitor other species. Some Mir monitor other Mir. Love it. I don't know if we say Mer, but Mir sounds better to me. Okay, there's nothing to be done here. I play a land and pass the turn. They need to win this turn. Oh, that's not true. What am I talking about? I'll put Gigantha in hand. My old Affinity deck didn't really tend to use Gigantha much, but I will put this in my hand because why not? And pass the turn. Okay, so opponent needs to think of something now. They're going down to 2 life. Can no longer shock lands anymore. Alright, this is the big turn. They will, yeah, of course, have to tap the ring. There's nothing left to be done there. This unfortunately only lets me tap untapped artifact or creatures I control. I can't tap their stuff. Okay, so we're away. Hidden Strings. Gets to untap both the Lotus Field and the One Ring, drawing more cards. So I mean, this is of course it. They're dead on. They're dead from their own ring. if they don't kill me this turn, which they very well may do. Let's see. Playing a land. 5 mana. So Dream's Grip is another one of the untap effects. Again, Mirrodin. So just a little bit of background there. First started playing, I think the first thing I ever played was the 7th edition starter set. Lot of fun. But that's very heavily involved, especially during my later school days, in the Mirrodin first Onslaught and stuff, then Mirrodin block. So wherever possible, I will be delighted to use Mirrodin cards. Of course, power creep has happened, as you can see from the companion here that has taken over from the powerhouse that was the Mirror Enforcer. He's still a powerhouse. But given the Simulacrum Synthesizer, we're allowed to have him back in, so I'm happy with that. Mem Knight blew my mind when that was printed. Fantastic. I'm just rambling whilst they make huge amounts of mana. They're going to cast their Underworld Breach. There it is. Oh, okay. What printing is this? Secret Lair? Special Guests. Okay. That's scary. Look at that. The same environment as the original Breach with these what looks to be Roman civilians, possibly Greek civilians in their togas, fleeing from something escaping the underworld. So I think they're just looking for a Tome Scour now. Let's see what we have for our... I think this game is over, but I'm going to make them show me something. I've seen these fizzle in the past. So, okay, so we have Damping Sphere and Pithing Needle for Ring. I think we need Graph Diggers. We're pretty well set up against this, actually. Relic, Graph Diggers, Pithing Needle, Damping Spheres. We could even do Haywire Might. Okay, be careful not to overboard of anything. All right, what have we got over here? Let's see. I'm just going to let them do their thing for a while. Okay, so they've just cast Wish that lets them get something from outside the game, and they've got their Tome Scourer. Okay, so now what they should be doing is, with Breach, you escape, which lets you cast it from your graveyard. The untap effects, they have Tome Scour that lets them fill their graveyard, so you can exile for 3 cards and mill for 5. So it nets you cards. And so you mill, untap your Lotus Field, mill, untap your Lotus Field. Eventually you'll reach enough mana and no cards to be able to cast your Thassa's Oracle. Ring is nice. Lets you draw into what you need. Yeah, I think I need the Pithing Needle on Ring. That's a shame. I mean, I didn't go as fast as I needed to. We got them almost there, but that's over. We don't need to sit here and watch them. They have the loop. Let's go to the next game. Okay, post board. We want Graph Diggers. We want Damping Sphere. We want Relic and Pithing Needle. And we'll put maybe pile will be Haywire Might. What don't we need? So I actually think that Nettle Cyst is a bit slow. Synthesizer, maybe we don't need as many. I don't think we need Shadow Spear. They're not going to damage us in that way. Ether Spell Bomb is a no-go. And that seems like quite a nice little map. Anything that costs the 3 mana to get going, so Simulacrum and Nettle Cyst are just a little bit slower than I think I need. Lava Spur's nice. Graph Digger would be quite nice to slow them down there. So let's see. Of course, we haven't touched on Saga this match, so let's see if he can carry us. All right, I'm on the play for game number 2. Reveal my Gigantha. Yet to shine, but don't worry, buddy. We appreciate you. Okay, we're going to snap keep this one. We can go land rather, so we'll start with the Tangle Pool, and then we can go Saga into Damping Sphere. If they have a counterspell, or if they have mana left up, then we'll think about whether we want to play that. The opponent also kept 7. Close this one, and we're going to go to Tangle Pool, and I think we're actually going to play Mem Knight and just start the beats here. It's different than the other game. One is Ornithopter doesn't hit for beats, and second is we have Moonsnare that can be tapping Damping Sphere, so we still have the mana available. Opponent likes to still wait on each of the responses here. Reminders of Memnarch's reign still scur across Mirrodin, reminiscent of his form, if not his power. I did like Memnarch, actually. I remember that being printed. The crazy expensive in terms of abilities. But he basically could turn things into artifacts and take control of them. Cool card, very cool card. I think now it's used in EDH, of course, with all the commanders. But back in the day, this was before EDH was a thing. I've been increasingly impressed with Damping Sphere, and I like they printed it as an uncommon. But this one impacts a lot of decks from Modern, Pioneer, and Legacy that it just has minor impacts to some decks, but completely shuts down certain decks. I don't know what Dark Drifter's doing here. This has been on the stack for a long time. I don't know any card that can counter this right now. So just stepped away from the desk or whatever. But okay. So it seems that they've just dropped, and I'm not sure what happened there, but perhaps real life situation. Either that, or, and I wouldn't blame them, the mighty Memnite has made him or her afraid and disappeared. Either way, on to the next one. All right, we're on the play for round number 3. Reveal the companion, because that's what we do. And we kick off. All right. This needs some help. It really doesn't do anything. We can play all of these cards out first turn. But we have to trust the top of the deck. But actually, essentially anything off the top. That's not true. That's not true. Let's see what we're working with here. So any land. So we have 18 lands, so that's 17 other lands. A moon snare. I don't know. Is this something we can keep? I'm going to risk this for science. If we get any support. No, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Oh, back and forth, back and forth. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. We shall play the Springleaf and the Memnite. See what we're working with. Because if we can get any mana source, we're laughing with the synthesizer. All right, let's do this. Vault into Springleaf Drum. Okay. We're having some opponents taking some time to accept my... okay, now we're in business. So let's pass the turn. Okay, come on, deck. Don't let me down. Come on. Opponent is... They kept 7. Is this a burn deck? Arid Mesa pass. What deck does that? Okay, so we're in a bit of trouble here. Let's start by attacking. See if we can bait out some some damage on the Memnite. We're going to play another Memnite just in case they have a Ragavan. They're going to dash next turn. Play Memnite and pass. Okay, come on. Come on, deck. We knew this possibility that it's going to let us down. But... Alright, opponent sacks in the end step their Arid Mesa. Let's see what they're working with here. Arout. Whatever this person's name is. Alright. Maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on the synthesizer. Okay, so it's Rakdos. They've searched for the Surveil land and binned the card on top, so they didn't need another land, it seems. Okay, so this could be creativity. Stomping Ground. This is a Ren and 6. It's been quite devastating. Okay. Alright, come on, deck. Please help us out here. So, of course, they mine us to get rid of the Memnite. But having the second Memnite's helpful here because we can attack Ren. And, okay. I think that's probably enough Memnites now, guys. If that's okay. We are going to have to play the next Memnite. Okay, so... was a greedy keep that we knew was risky. But on the other hand, we're playing Affinity. We need some risks. And look how powerful this looks. Wow. Okay, Bitter Reunion. So they did throw their Ren. Okay, so they might have the Persist to reanimate their Archon here. Okay, let's go. This is it. This is the... Come on, big draw. Ether Spellbomb. Okay. Let's play... Okay, let's see this. Let's play a Spellbomb. Play an Ornithopter. Attack with the Mem Knight. Pass the turn. So at least we can bounce the Archon. Or discard an Ornithopter when they... So they might persist this to get this back into play. In response to the trigger, we will bounce this Archon so that we... Okay, here we go. Dwarven Mine. See what they have. If they have a creativity to sack their dwarf token, we can bounce that in a response. Okay, Pillage the Bog. Plotted. They're targeting Ornithopter. Okay. Plotted. This is the one that you get to look at the top X cards of your library, where X is twice the number of lands you control. You put one of them in your hand, the best on the bottom in a random order. Okay. Okay, so we are going to Floater Blue, and they're going to Fatal Push this. They're just going to go to the next phase. That's fine. I don't think there's anything they can do, so we'll let this go. Okay, come on. Please let us help. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, we can't take it. We can't take it. Let's first attack. The problem we have here is, okay. Problem is, we need to get Synthesizer rocking, but we only have one blue source. Moonsnare, again, I mentioned this earlier, Springleaf is just so much more powerful. Add an untapped, add one mana of any color, add a colorless. So, if we play the Moonsnare now, we can play an Ornithopter, play a Moonsnare, they will be able to persist. I'm presuming what they have in their hand is a persist. I don't think I can. I think I need to cast an Ornithopter. I don't think I can play this. I need to keep up Ether Spellbomb at this stage. So we're going to pass the turn. Because, I'm sorry, finish the thought, they can sacrifice this to give creatures haste. So, here we go. Okay, so they've got enough for creativity for 2 tokens. So we'll need to bounce one of these. Oh, let's bounce the one that's not summoning. It doesn't make a difference there. They're both about to die. So they can't sacrifice their Bitter Reunion because they haven't got the mana right now. Okay, so we're going to have to discard a card and sack a creature. We'll sack the Ornithopter and discard an Ornithopter. Okay, I think we might be past this now. Let's see what we can do. So this is probably far too little, too late. Let's see what we're working with here. We have, they'll make us lose this. Just want to see, oh, they still have to Pillage the Bog. I mean, this is over. That's fine. Okay. It was let's be honest, it was not a great keep. I was hoping for the deck to deliver because many of these things, so any of the Thought Monitor, Mirror Enforcer, Sojourner's Companions, Thoughtcast, even Frogmites could have started to get us there, but no. Okay, so we're up against creativity. So first things first, Orvar the Allform. Now, so this is the one that when they make us discard, we can leverage this ability. I think what we probably want to do is get rid of their flyers with Pick Your Poison. And it also does get rid of any artifact or enchantments they might be having. Pithing Needle is always nice against Wrenn. Damping Sphere doesn't do a lot. Hibernation, not ready for this matchup. Let's see. Okay, so what's less important? I think Shadow Spear. Spellbomb was nice. Yeah, there's nothing on that. Shadow Spear is nice. Maybe the Moonsnare we can get. Maybe we can trim some on the Nettle Cyst, because again, 3 mana is a lot. We've got 5 here. One more. Maybe we lose one of the Moon's Snare. Okay, let's do it like this. Try and just go fast as can be, whilst keeping that reliability. Let's see. So we're going to try and be on the play, of course. Reveal the companion. I've got faith in you, Jeggy, even though you may not have faith in yourself. I will have you here. Okay, so what does this do? This is a pretty fast... Yeah, we'll keep this. It's got fast enough Saga, and if they do go all out, we've got the all form. We're going to keep this. The one-off all form. We're going to start with the Tangle Pool and pass the turn. How I wish... I don't know if I wish, that's not true. How I miss using the original Artifact lands, Seat of the Synod, Vault of Whispers, but can't be doing that here. It's deemed too powerful for Modern, which may be true, but also, come on guys, let's have it back. All right, let's start unloading here. So we'll start with the Saga, into Springleaf, into Moonsnare. 1, 2, 3. This should cost us 1, so we can tap the Springleaf and then pass the turn. Okay, so that's a bit more like an Affinity start that we're hoping for. Next turn, we can start making constructs, and we're somewhat protected from... I don't care about this at all. Somewhat protected about an early creativity. Opponent bolts our little Frogmite and then goes for Commercial District. Frogmite is cool. Good job, Therese. Okay. They've thrown away their Dwarven Mine. They don't need it. That's good. Okay. Let's play a Treasure Vault. We now have 4 artifacts, so we can play a Frogmite for free. And we will... Wait a second. If we create a construct, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can play everything. So let's create a construct. Wait. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can... No, we have to make a construct if we want to play that, which we do. So we're going to play that. We can pass the turn. Okay, so we have pretty much the best setup we can if they do make us discard. Sorry, I should have said what this does. When an opponent makes you discard it, you create a copy that's a copy of target permanent. As a create a token. Okay, they got rid of my... It's fine. If a fatal push one of my construct. The benefit is that if they do cast creativity or they do get a Archon into play, this one then discards and then makes them discard and sacrifice their Archon. So this is a good little counter to Archon. Okay, they keep tapping and untapping their Blood Crypt. They've got 2 in the pool and a Wrenn and 6. Okay, that I don't care about. I might still kill it though, just to stop them getting their mines back and so on. So yeah, we're probably going to attack it, but... Okay, here we go. Let's see what we draw. Okay, we're going to make a construct for sure. Okay, we're going to search for a Lava Spur Boots. I'm going to play a Sojourner's Companion. We're going to tap the Lava Spur to equip to the construct. So 10, 16, 17. So that's 10, 16 damage. And they concede. Okay, good. The Lava Spur has been a nice little addition to this because it does let us attack a lot more quickly with the Saga tokens, because of the natural play pattern of the Saga is normally you only get 1 attacking on the 3rd turn, but 2 can be just devastating for them. Okay, I don't think Hibernation is going to be useful for them. They only really play Wrenn, if I can remember their green cards. Is there anything else I need here? Graph Diggers. I know they could persist out of the graveyard. Do I want a one-off relic maybe that I search for? Maybe put 1 relic in and take out one of the synthesizers now that we're on the draw. All right, let's see if that works. All right, reveal the companion. Again, it's more like a spectator at the moment than a real card for us, but that's okay. All right, what have we got here? We've got 2 Sagas, already love it, and a Synthesizer. We have enough mana, and we have 2 potential hate pieces. We keep these. we're going to go Tangle Pool. Then second turn Saga, unload a bunch of artifacts. They like their Raucous Theatre, don't they? Okay, that's fine. I do like the Surveil lands. And it's a nice little way of actually reducing the need, if we go to Legacy, to have all of the dual lands, just helping some people save a bit of money on that. Okay, so we're going to Tangle Pool and then pass the turn. So next turn will be Saga, and we can unload all of these, which is quite nice. And then third turn, we can start making constructs. As soon as the opponent is one for one-ing a construct that comes out of Saga, I always feel good about it, because you get three cards out of the Saga. So a nice little 3-for-1 when they do that. Okay. Opponent has double surveilled, and this second one they kept on top. We're going to play the Saga. Relentless. Okay. Start with the Saga. And then we'll play a Relic. We're going to play a... Oh... Do we want to keep a Relic activation up? Or do we want to unload? I think we want to unload. Then next turn, then we'll just exile a card. And next turn, they can, if they don't win, if they don't do it, then we'll keep it up for the rest of the game where possible. I say that, but I can definitely see myself tapping out for a Saga. Okay, what have we got here? 2 red, Bitter Reunion. So enters, they get to discard a card and then draw 2 if they do. What are they going to discard? Yeah, okay, so they got the Archon there. I'm glad we have the Relic. They won't be able to persist it with 1 mana. They've got the Stomping Ground, shock that in, and then get a Pick Your Poison perhaps. Make me sacrifice an enchantment. Yeah, that's fine. I wish I had some more Sagas coming. I'm going to get some aggressive eye rolling from the opponent as we spend the next 2 turns replacing the Sagas that undoubtedly they're delighted they got rid of. So we're going to play a Saga. We're going to play a Moon Snare. Okay. We can keep the Relic up. Target player exiles the card. We're going to keep doing this. And we're going to go to combat. Okay. Let's see what they do about this. We don't have Spellbomb up, but blue is actually our gate at the moment. Again, costing blue to bring in and producing colorless versus the Springleaf of colorless to come in and blue production. I'm that against you, Moonsnare. I'm sorry. Okay, so they're going to Lightning Bolt my Frogmite. Fine, deal. They've searched for a dwarf token, and they're going to play for 3 mana. Is it going to be a Fable, perhaps? Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, good card. So we can start coming back from some of the card advantage that I've been getting here. Just going to keep up Relic and Ether Spellbomb. Okay, another counter goes on to Saga. Hello, Mirror Enforcer. Alright, if we play another Saga, let me see. Okay. We can keep up Relic with Moonsnare. We can play another Saga. And I think we just pass the turn here. So opponent next turn can play a land. Let's assume they get that. Because they got some extra selection Fables. So they have 5 mana. Plus attacking with the Shaman. Well, wait a second. If they got 5 mana, they can play Creativity for 2. We can bounce 1 of the tokens. Then they won't have enough to also attack. And they can't just do 1 token. Which means we'll have to discard. We have to keep up Ether Spellbomb. Nope, we have to keep up Ether Spellbomb. We can't beat 2 Archons, I don't believe. Let's see what they do here. Opponent's discarding. Wow. Opponent chooses to discard no cards. They are delighted with the 3 remaining cards in their hand. I would be too if I've got a creativity to get a couple of these Archons out. Let's see. So I imagine what we're going to see here is a double creativity. They might be tempted to go for the Shaman token attack, so they can do that. Okay, so we will have to bounce one of these tokens. Okay. Trigger. Sacrifice. Discard. The Enforcer. I'm sorry, buddy. You're not long for this world. Okay. We're going to create a construct in the end step. And let's see what we're going to do with this now. Okay. So I think what we need to do here is float mana. Search for, maybe it's the Lava Spur. I think we go Lava Spur here. I mean, there's a temptation to get Pithing Needle and name the Fable, but I don't think. I think we need to. We might. If we attack, we'll have. Okay, let's count this out. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can block 2 of them. Then they can create they'll get their reflection next turn. They can give it haste by going for the Bitter Reunion. They only have to block with the Shaman. They won't have to block with the Archon. I think we need to get Pithing Needle and name Reflection. And we'll play a Synthesizer at last. Let's see what we have on top. I guess we keep on top and on top. Yeah. Play a Frogmite. Get another construct. Exile a card. And go to combat. Let's attack. They might want to block. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so we're up against an Archon here. Very quick to do this damage. We don't have the Shadow Spear in here. But let's see. We'll have a lot of damage on board next turn. Because we can get the Lava Spur. I think it was right to get the Pithing Needle just to stop this reflection. If they have another creativity, I think it's over. But there's only so much we can do about that. Okay. So it was the right call we made. Unfortunately, they had the Besieger in hand. I think this might be it. Let's see. 6, 9, 12, 18. Yeah, done. Okay, GG's. We're on the draw for round number 4. Show Jeggy. One day, Jeggy. One day. All right. Opponent choosing what to keep. We have here a first turn Tangle Pool, second turn Springleaf, Ether, Spellbomb, Ornithopter, Memnite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can keep these. Opponent chooses to keep 7. So we're off to the races. Hello, Pyre Revan. Shocks in a watery grave. What are we doing here? Shocking in, passing. So what does that tell me? They could be looking to keep it up for a cycle effect or a counter spell, but let's just play a Tangle Pool and see if they cycle a Lorien Revealed or a Troll of Khazad-dûm in the end step. Maybe a consider. Opt. Okay. the Dominaria one. The crystal pulsed with the power of Teferi's Planeswalker spark. Had Joyra given him a blessing or a curse? Great flavor text. Alright. They choose to put the card on the bottom, draw it, draw the next, and they're over to their turn. Okay, swamp and pass. I like it. Let's see what they're up to next. So we're going to play a Tangle Pool and see if we can get things underway. So we can cast the Springleaf and see if we can go from here. Did I counter that? No? Okay. Ornithopter. Okay, so we have 4 artifacts. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll make it 6 with the Spell Bomb. Next turn we can Simulacrum Synthesizer and Thought Monitor if they do nothing. Which, you know, is unlikely. Okay, consider. So what's this going to be? Could be Death Shadow. I don't think it is Lotus Field Breach, as it is Dimir. He's looking at maybe Dimir Ring, perhaps? Well, let's find out. Fatal Push, the Ornithopter. Okay. That's not really the squeeze point here, to be honest. If they get rid of Memnite as well, which they may be doing, then we... Oh, hello! I think it is the Dimir Ring. Okay. Let's see if we can push through. Okay. Fine. So I think we will play... So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. If we play... So look, here's the thing. If we play Synthesizer, we won't have enough to play the Enforcer. Next turn, they've got the Ring coming. So I think we're going to go for a Nettle Cyst. Or maybe we get the Synthesizer chunk in. Let's get the Synthesizer into play. If they have a counterspell, maybe they have it, but I like to build up the value over time. Let's see. Oh, they have the counterspell. Spell Pierce, perhaps? Maybe Drown in the Lock, which won't be good enough. Okay. Resolves. They were paying some costs, but let's see. Maybe they had a Bowmaster. Okay, so Memnite is a no-go. Mirror Enforcer is a yes-gay. A yay-gay. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is nothing left to be done here, so we pass. Alright, we do have this guy waiting in the winds, but nothing at the moment. Overseeing. I hope I do you proud, Gigantha. They opt in the end step. I think trying to get that ring ready. I still think it's the Dimir ring control. Creeping Tar Pit. What's that? World Wake? Yeah, good card. Went down in favor. Was a very popular win condition or alternative win condition in many decks for a while. Those times have changed, but I'm glad to see it back again, even though it's on my opponent's side of the table. Okay, so dismember the Mir. That's but the Memnite. That's fine. It is a Mir though as construct. It's fine. That's not again the squeeze point. Thoughtseize. That's fine. We've got this. We've got redundancy here. Plus, we're about to draw another Mirror Enforcer. They're probably going to get rid of the Thought Monitor though. That's what I would choose. Unless they got a way to bounce a Simulacrum. They should have bounced that first if that was the plan. So, see what they have planned. Yeah, Thought Monitor, no brainer. They think they can beat the... Okay, so we're into this. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is quite nice because we can play this. And then if this does come in, we'll be able to play the other Mirror Enforcer for freebies. Let's see what they have. Most of the generic counterspells, whether it's the non-direct hard counters, so whether it's Spell Pierce or stern scolding or what have you. Just don't interact with a powerhouse like the Mirror Enforcer. But unfortunately, there's nothing left to be done here. So we pass turn. They did have the raw counterspell. Only 3 cards left in hand. Let's see what they do. Opponent has 4 cards, all are unknown. Might be keeping up another counterspell, but so be it. I can ram spells onto the stack all day long. Now, we can play the Moon Snare. If they want to counter that, then that's fine. We got to keep flushing out the counter spells. Okay, we'll play this. Should only cost 1. Oh, mistake. I should have used the Moon Snare. This one, we could use the blue for an Ether Spell Bomb if we need that. My mistake. Do they have another counterspell? Yes, they do. Okay, 3 steps ahead, so be it. That's that new Outlaws of Thunder Junction counterspell. Yeah, so I made a mistake there. I should not have tapped the Tangle Pool. I should have used the Moon Snare, because the Tangle Pool with the blue could use the bounce for the Ether Spell Bomb. Okay. They have 1 card left, 2 cards left in hand. I have nothing. I think I need to draw a card with Spell Bomb, unless they give me a reason not to. Okay. Play a Springleaf and try and play a Frogmite. All we need is for one of these to land. Let's see if they have more counterspells. They've already played a couple. Fatal Push, Dismember. It's all about that control here. Okay, they have the Drown in the lock. Alright. 1 card left in hand. If we can get 1 artifact to land, I think we'll be feeling good because... Are they going to draw a card? Oh, Cling to Dust. Okay. We're going to be feeling good because the Simulacrum Synthesizer instantly creating a 7/7 is going to make it tough for them. Okay, so 1 card left in hand, and they're going to Undercity Sewers, Surveil. If nothing else, I'll put Gigantha in hand, but I only had 2 available mana last turn. I would have put him in hand if I'd got the Frogmite. Okay, so I think we're going to put... We've seen Thought Seizers, so we're going to... Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to play... Yeah, that's fine. We're going to put Gigantha in hand. And then we also know that they have Thought Seizers, so we may as well play this anyway. The thought I was thinking of was not playing the land so that they are tempted to Thought Seizers and waste their spell. But if I'm planning to put Gigantha in hand anyway, I may as well play the land, because if I top deck a land next turn, then I can play, because I'll have 3, 4, and then whatever land I play there, 5 to play this. So they've got 2 cards left in hand. Let's see what they do. I do like this spread: the Drowned Catacombs, the Undercity Sewers, the Creeping Tar Pit, the Watery Grave. Okay, so we know this is the part of the game that I'm not so worried about. If they're spending all their mana to deal me 3 damage, yes please. So it's essentially tapping 4 lands to Lightning Bolt me when I'm at a stage where a single powered artifact, a higher mana cost artifact, will get us a huge body. Let's see what we get. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So first things first, we have not enough to play the Jeggy anyway, so let's play one of these. Do they have the counterspell? They don't. Okay, so this is a bit better now. Let's see what we draw. Okay. Very nice. So we can play. Okay, so we can tap Simulacrum to get a Lava Spur Boots. We can equip. We can tap the Thought Monitor to equip the boots. See if that's enough for the win. We've got 10 power there. Yeah. So game. So this is why I like Lava Spur boots. I'm not. This isn't controversial to say. It's a popular card, but the Shadow Spear would have been essentially meaningless at that point compared to the Lava Spur. Don't get me wrong, Shadow Spear is great, but the idea of giving it haste there was just outstanding. Okay, so we're up against Demir Ring. I think with that in mind, we probably want Pithing Needle and Haywire Might. We might want some Pick Your Poison to get rid of their. That might be overboarding. We've got Pithing Needle, Haywire Might. I don't think Shadow Spear is the problem right now. We don't need to be racing them on life. They have a lot of things like Fatal Push, things like that. That's fine. I don't think we need the Spell Bomb. They don't have a lot of creatures to bounce. I mean, we might want a Pick Your Poison just to tackle a ring if we see that. What do we take out for that? We take out a Nettle Cyst. Try like that. All right, that's my plan. Let's see if that works. Okay, we choose Jeggy again. You were so close to being useful, buddy. So close. All right, this one looks decent. I'm on, of course, on the draw. I think this is fine. I think it's some resiliency to discard. Let's see how that goes. Opponent, shocking in a watery grave. Any preordain opt? No. Okay, let's see if they do the end step opt again. Okay, so Urza Saga. Always a pleasure to see you, buddy. Play the Tangle Pool. Pass the turn. I don't want to give them an easy Ornithopter target, so let's just keep going. Okay, basic island. And pass the turn. Alright, they're keeping their mana for the next game, perhaps. Alright, so if we go so obviously Saga's better to get it cranking, but if we play Citadel, we'll have 2 artifacts, 3, then it's 4, then it's 5, 6, 7 mana. We can kind of unload. If we go Saga, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, 1 second. Let me just think this through. First things first, we'll play Springleaf. See if that resolves. That might affect my decision. I think we're going to unload here. So let's go Darksteel Citadel. Ornithopter. We'll have enough for a Frogmite. Let's see what they do here. They might be thinking about countering it, which is why I went for the... excellent. That's fine by me. They want to be using spells on that. We can play a Frogmite. We now have 4 artifacts in play, nothing left to be done, so we'll pass. Okay, good. So we got rid of a kill spell / counter spell there. Then we'll play Saga next turn, and the constructs will be unrelenting. Okay, what do we have next? Opponent still, of course, 6 cards in hand. Otawara as a land. Looking forward to the new Modern Horizons 3 set coming up. There should be some fun tech lands. Okay, speaking of fun tech lands, let's play the Urza Saga. Okay. Oh, they've got something they're doing. Play an Ornithopter. We now have 3, 4, 5, 6. Play one of the Nettle Cysts. See if they have anything they want to do about this. They might want to Spell Pierce. It's not a creature, so it's something they can point their Spell Pierce at. They will find no purchase elsewhere. Consider, okay, that's fine. Maybe that's an emergency. Try and find a quick counterspell. Knowing this guy will be an absolute powerhouse. Counterspell, let's see. I mean, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. We won't have enough. If this one doesn't land, we won't have enough to play the Thought Monitor. Okay, excellent. So now we can. Let's play a Thought Monitor by tapping the Ornithopter. I think they might play Damnation. So let's draw 2 cards. So I am still going to play out. Let me think here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. If I play the Mirror Enforcer, that's dead on board. So let's go to combat. think I will play it out. The sagas can rebuild after. Well, let me think. 16. It's 8. I mean, I don't expect this to survive. The question is, do they have damnation? Because that will be quite devastating. But if we have damnation, we can't play the Enforcer anyway. If we draw a Simulacrum, we'll have to scry to find another big one. So let's play that and pass. We still have the Saga. We still have those constructs that come out of that. The Nettle Cyst, even if they damnation, is not going anywhere. Just the germ. Let's see what they have to do with this. And of course, we have our favourite, Gigantha the Wellspring, ready to go. Okay, let's see what they have to play. Under City Sewers, Surveil 1. I've liked the impact of these. And I like the art on all of them. A little bit more like in a city, and whether it's the Rockus Theatre or the Meticulous Archive, they're all nice. Okay, so a pretty decisive victory. They saw they had us dead on board. I don't know what was in their hand. They had 5 cards and 3 mana, but nothing apparently to do. So let's go to the next. I'm on the draw in the final round. We're going to stick with Jeggy. I promise, Jeggy, I will do what I can to have you play this game or this match. Okay. Let's see what we're working with here. Chaticus. We're up against Chaticus with Fibblethip as the icon. Okay, let's see what we have here. It's not exactly blazing, but we can have turn 2 Frogmite and turn 3. That's too slow. This doesn't do anything. Okay, I mean, I don't really want to go any lower. Let's keep that. Not very happy about it. We'll bottom Spires. It's the only non-artifact. We've still got the turn 2 Frogmite. This time we have fewer cards, but we do have an option for a Thoughtcast and a Mirror Enforcer. Blood Crypt. Shocked in for a Ragavan. Okay, come on. Let's top deck a Memnite. Let's force them to have the bolt. Let's go. Alright, they did not. We're going to Tangle Pool. And hopefully the high mana value of this deck works for me, and when Ragavan flips, it's nothing of any value. Let's see. Over to them. Ragavan. Is this printing? Okay. Okay. Let's see what we flip. Okay, they take the damage, and we flip. They get a treasure. Oh, and they flip the Lava Spur Boots. That's disappointing. I only play one of those, and it's something they can play themselves. Not even that they necessarily would, but disappointing. That would have been a nice little top deck there. Because when you've got Affinity, of course, it's free to play a 1-mana artifact. Free insofar as it minuses 1. So next turn, if we had drawn this, could have been land into Frogmite. Sorry, land into Lava Spur into Frogmite. Okay, let's see if they get rid of the Thoughtcast. Yep, unsurprising. It's the card that lets me rebuild after the Thoughtcast. They chose not to play the Lava Spur. Okay, so we can play a... Oops, I didn't mean to click that. Never mind. We can play a Moon Snare. Meant to click on the other land. Never mind. We can't afford this now. So we'll pass. This is the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So one point of note here. So I meant to click on the Darksteel Citadel, but just out of habit, I clicked on the island. Or maybe out of laziness, whatever. And it may well cost us the game. But these things happen. Too often I see people get very frustrated or very angry, very unhappy, and they let this derail them. And in most things in life, it's not going to help to harp on those mistakes, look back and, oh, I'm so stupid, oh, so frustrated. It's okay. These things happen. Not even anything on the line, of course. The big thing on the line here is one game in an MTGO league. It's the lowest stakes that you can possibly imagine. And yet still people will get very angry or frustrated, and that's what happens. But so be it. Okay. Next turn, assuming we don't play another mistake, we'll have 3 artifacts. We can then tap 1 for a Frogmite, so 4 artifacts. So then 5, 6, we can tap the Frogmite for a Mirror Enforcer. We can get everything out of these. We can get these 3, the Citadel, into Frogmite, into Mirror Enforcer. They flipped a Thought Monitor, which would have been nice to have, but, you know, so be it. They have 5 cards left in hand, and apparently all the time in the world as they decide what to do. They're playing the treasure token, or sacking their treasure tokens to play, is it Fable maybe? Okay, Invasion of Ikoria. Okay. It is the invasion. Okay, the computer lagged there, but they cast an Invasion of Ikoria. And this is the battle. They can exile the Vampire Hex Mage. There we go. To remove all the counters, and they get themselves a big creature. Nice little 8/8 with reach. Okay, that's pretty big and scary. Let's see what we draw. Okay, so we do have a chance to race this. If we play our Frogmite, we play our Mirror Enforcer, or we play our Nettlecyst. Maybe we play our Nettlecyst will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we may as well play the Enforcer. It's harder to get out. And it does survive against a Bolt. We can block the Ragavan. Okay. God, I love this card. Just wonderful. Beautiful artwork. Okay. Opponent has a pretty scary board, so let's see what they're going to do with it. I mean, I presume they're going to swing. We'll have to take the 8, and so that we can then build up next turn for a Nettlecyst, and then we can kill theirs. What we need to be doing is for them not, with their 5-card hand, to not explode out. Okay, so they're going to attack with the Zilortha. We'll take all the damage. That's fine. What's this one say? For each non-human creature, you may have that creature assigned. Oh, okay. So they could choose to throw away their Ragavan if they wanted to flip. But... okay, so this is actually a bit of a problem because they're able to attack next turn for the win unless we top deck something like a Ether Spell Bomb, because they can just ignore our creatures. Okay, so we lose the game. Next one. So what do we need against this? We can... so they have obviously that angle where they sacrifice their Vampire Hex Mage. Maybe we have a Cursed Totem. Cover that. I can't see much else that we would need on this. The green Hibernation could be fun. We could try that. It's not really for this matchup. I'll put that at the maybe pile. Shadow Spear seems great. Ether Spell Bomb seems okay. Maybe Synthesizer, a bit slow. What else? Maybe the boots just isn't what we need. Maybe we take out one Enforcer. Okay, let's try like this. Alright, so I'm on the play, as that's how magic works. We'll reveal our Gigantha once more. Alright, so being a little bit screwed here by the coloured mana. And what I mean by that is there's no coloured mana. This hand just doesn't do anything. We've got a Mulligan. Okay, this hand has a high upside potential. We're going to keep this. We'll bottom the Spire. And we will land pass. If they Thoughtseize. Let's see here. They may Thoughtseize. But I can't imagine what world they're taking the Ornithopter over a Synthesizer. So we're going to play a Darksteel Citadel and pass the turn. I just love the artifact. I love this play pattern. Just something wonderful about it. Okay, Scalding Town from the opponent. Alright, let's see what we have here. Tanglepool Bridge, where were you last turn? That's a shame. Okay, so we are still going to play the Saga. And then pass the turn. That said, are we? Or are we going to play an Ornithopter now to block a dashed Ragavan? I think the only reason that they were in the game last time, apart from my own mistake that cost us that, was that they had 2 Ragavan hits that got them the treasures, that got them the coloured mana they needed to play the battle, which did a 16 damage for the win. So I think that it might be worth throwing away an Ornithopter for this. We're in a position where we are currently on Urza's Saga beatdown plan with the backup of Synthesizer to scry and see where we stand there. Kind of would love it if they dash Ragavan here, because that means they're not doing anything else, and I'll block, and then we're done. A deck like theirs here, trying to deal with 2 constructs and something that comes out of Saga, is exactly where I want to be, because they don't easily get to kill the enchantment. Okay. They've gone to second main, but pausing for some reason. Now we'll go, okay, good. Play a land. And pass the turn. Do I want it to be an artifact? Yes, we're going to have artifact because that lets our tokens be as big as possible. It will allow it to be big enough to not die to a lightning bolt. If we played the island, it would die to bolt. Okay. I'm going to guess they're going to get for another Surveil land at a Scalding Tarn. They're sacrificing. They've got their mismatched, their old border, but as Modern Horizons, and then their original, but it's a new border. Wild. Okay. All right. They chose a Blood Crypt, tapped, then pass the turn. All right, turn 3. Let's see what we're working with over here. Chaticus. Aha! They got their green. Now we're cooking. Thunder Junction Forest. They're all about that. Okay, let's see what we have. If they have nothing else, we're going to create ourselves a little construct. They like to wait in their second main quite a lot. And if you look at the clock, we're a full 3 minutes ahead, basically. Okay, let's create a construct. Okay. If they want to try and kill that, it's going to be tough for them because the lightning bolts won't do it. Let's create another construct. Just force them to deal with these as we build up to a synthesizer. Okay. Now, if they land forest, they play a forest next turn, they'll be able to play their Hex Mage and the battle and immediately activate it. So I think what we need to do is get a Springleaf and play the Cursed Totem off of the island. And then we'll swing with our 7/7, assuming this is resolving. If I had a hand full of gas, I may have played the Simulacrum Synthesizer instead of this other construct, but as I have no way to generate more synthesized constructs, then we're in trouble. Okay, so they have the... Not sure why they chose to do that then, but they did. They've just killed the construct. And they're bolting the bird. Okay, so we made the right choice by having the construct out of bolt range. Okay. Let's pass. I'm not sure why they did all that in response, but they did, so pass. Oh no, my construct has activated abilities, can't be activated. That's okay, it has no activated abilities. You okay, buddy? Looks like the Terminator with that foot destroying a skull in the Terminator 2 opening sequence. Fantastic movie. Okay, Stomping Ground. Chopped in. Greed's Gambit. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, gain 6 life, create 3 2/1 black bat creature tokens with flying. At the beginning of your end step, you discard a card, lose 2 life, sacrifice creature. When it leaves the battlefield, you discard 3 cards. Okay, yes, very nice. Very good. Okay. So what we can do here, I'm presuming they haven't got a way to pass it over. I presume it's just a value thing, but okay. You got 3 bat tokens. Here we go. That's a cool card. 2 bats. They've drawn 3 and gained 6. Okay. I can bounce that with the Moon Snare in a couple of turns. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, so their trigger happens. They lose 2. Sacrifice creature. Maybe I'll wait to bounce that when they're on 6 life. Little surprise. Lightning Axe plus Lava Dart to their face. Okay, we're taking a long time to decide here. Okay, discard the Bowmasters, knowing that's not really what this game's about. Correct. Okay, so we'll play a Tanglepool. We'll play an Ornithopter. We'll play a Simulacrum Synthesizer. Scry 2, let's see what we're working with here. Bottom both of these. And go to combat. You're going to block with one of those. And then next turn one of them will die to the Greed's Gambit. Is there a way to make this Greed's Gambit more less one way, more symmetrical? Because this seems like they're going to very quickly lose what the advantage they had. So far they've already discarded one of the cards and lost. So it's said so far, draw 3 cards, discard a card, gain 4 life, and create 2 tokens. That's what's happened so far, which is pretty good for 4 mana, but it's very quickly going to start losing. Let's see. Cool card though. This is from the Vault. Again, there's Outlaws. I like seeing cards coming in from these other sets. Okay, so the One Ring. Draw a card. Got protection. They're going to draw. Bat may as well attack. It's only going to die anyway. Not going to block. Only going to take a lot of damage, first from the Gambit and then from the Ring. Let's see if they know they can attack. They do. That's fine. I also know that I don't have to block, so I won't. Okay, and second main, end step, here we go. Alright. They had to pick a poison, knowing that doesn't do a lot. Okay. So I think what we do, I mean, they have protection. I think what we do is we play the Sojourner's Companion, get ourselves another token. Okay, I think that's probably it. We'll keep up the Moon Snare and be ready to bounce their Greed's Gambit if we need to. Okay, so they lose 1 for the Ring. And let's see what they've got going on over here. Their token would be a paltry 2/2. Not something I have to worry about with my 10/10 mighty tokens. Interesting. They decided to use the new art for the Simulacrum construct, even though they are both the same. And this art for the Saga one. Nice. They've kept it consistent insofar as the Modern Horizons 2 with the Modern Horizons 2 and so on. Okay, each creature sacrifices a creature, or each opponent sacrifices a creature token. Okay, not much I can do about that. Let's get rid of this guy. That's not going to be sufficient. What else have they got? Congratulations. I am entertained. Ah, such a great flavor text. Okay, so they're going to draw 2 cards with the Ring. So they're going to be down to 15, 13. If we can attack with this, so we might bounce their construct if they tap out to create a construct. Might bounce it with the Moon Snare, because that will get through 13 damage. And we can attack without the Ornithopter, which is not suspicious because it hasn't got power, which will give us the 5 mana we need to channel the Moon Snare. They're going to shock? No. Okay, so I think their plan is to create a construct. Let's see if they have another plan. Okay, Ragavan. They'd rather Ragavan over a construct. Interesting. Magda, the Horde Master. When you commit a crime, create a tapped treasure token, and committing a crime is when you target opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyard. This ability triggers only once each turn, and you can sacrifice 3 treasures to create a 4/4 red Scorpion Dragon creature token with flying and haste. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. You can't do that with the Cursed Totem in play, but very cool indeed. Okay. Let's see what we're working with here. Is it worth bouncing one of these? Okay, so functionally they're going to be taking 2 from the ring, so 15. They're going to block the 9/9 or whatever that becomes next turn. So we can attack 4 down to 11. I think we've got to be patient. They're going to lose a creature rather. And then we can bounce. Yeah, this Greed's Gambit has been very much has flavor, except shares, which is, I mean, they drew 3 cards but have lost 3. They've lost 6. They've lost lots of tokens. I think we're going to bounce this now. I don't think there's much they can do. By bounce it, I mean put this on top of the top or bottom of the library, and then swing for enough to kill, I believe. Okay, we'll play a Tangle Pool. Combat. See if they've calculated the maths yet. Not yet. Swing for 14. They have to survive their ring trigger. And they have to survive their Greed's Gambit. Okay, over to you. Need a way to gain 4 life now. Or 3 life, yeah, okay. Alright, 1 each. Final game of the round. I think we will take a Pick Your Poison, as they've got a lot more focus on the ring here. 2 more Pick Your Poisons. And do we take out another Synthesizer? I think the Hibernation's a mistake. Maybe take out the 1 Moon Snare. Let's see how that goes. That's my plan. Normally I'm not an advocate for trimming different places, but see how this one goes. Okay. All right. This one is maybe a slow and steady, but I do like the Pick Your Poison. I don't like that we are ice cold to Ragavan. Although we're ice cold for 2 turns, but we can get the Shadow Spear going. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. I like the Pick Your Poison in case they have something. I like the Synthesizer with Nettle Cyst. First turn Ragavan is the usual. Shocking Blood Crypt. And play a Haywire Might. Okay, so they actually mulliganed. They kept it 7 and still had an awesome little one here. Okay, now this is a little bit irritating, but so be it. If only we had a Pick Your Poison that could get rid of the artifact. Okay, we're going to play... Okay, so we can't play Saga, because that will just die to the Haywire once they get green. We'll play an Ornithopter. Let them attack into nothing and pass the turn. We don't have Affinity or a Springleaf Drum that's urgently needing the Ornithopter, so I'd rather we block the Haywire Might, save some damage over a couple of turns, and if they have got a kill spell, which it's Rakdos, well, I guess it's Gruul, they can do it. Well, so be it. They need to use it anyway. So they have a lot of mismatched Scalding Tarns. My goodness. Stomping Ground down to 15. They can get rid of my Tangle Pool. Yep. That's okay. We have more lands. Okay, Mr. Shadow Spear. Hello, sir. Welcome back. A weapon of darkness for a warrior of light. They are no warrior of light. We're the good guys. That's for us. The weapon of darkness for a warrior of light. That's you, buddy. Look at that. Coming out of the sun, it looks like. Fantastic. Okay. We'll Tangle Pool. Oh, nice. We've actually got a target for that Shadow Spear as a Pick Your Poison if we need to. We'll pass. Let's see if they have another Haywire. But if not, we'll next turn play a Saga? No. I think we're actually going to go for the Synthesizer. So we're going to go Darksteel Citadel, possibly a Shadow Spear, and a Pick Your Poison. The opponent plays in Commercial District. So the reason I don't want to go Saga is we've got lots of things to use our mana on that I want to get out, and I don't want to waste the construct tokens. I'd rather get Simulacrum Synthesizer out and pumping as soon as possible, as I think they struggle with that as a card. Okay. Play a Citadel. I think we play Shadow Spear. Memnite. Pass. Do I want to Pick Your Poison? I think We may as well, because I don't think they'll have enchantments. I think creatures with flying are not really what's happening. And they already have an artifact, so we can't get the ring with this anyway. So I think we should play this. And it uses all the mana and lets us then just move on to the next turn. Also, their Shadow Spear does allow my Citadel or my lands to be destroyed, because they can make them lose indestructibility, which is always irritating as someone who has indestructible lands in play. Okay, Bowmaster. That's irritating, but so be it. Kill my Memnite. Here it is. 3 cards left in hand. This is the first Bowmaster they've actually played, though. The others were discarded or not played. So, wow, these kind of weird computer-generated art is just not so nice as the. Look at this, far more pleasant. Looks like some weird cartoon. Okay, opponent plays the Invasion of Ikoria for X = 2. So when it enters, they can search their library for a non-human creature. They're going to search for the vampire. Okay. Going to create your little 8/8. Okay. That's fine. We have the Shadow Spear, and we do have Synthesizer. This could be enough to bash through. See if they know how this works. This actually is a pointless block. If they want to just deal the damage to me, they can. Yeah. So this is the problem. They can just deal the damage directly to me. So, okay. We're in some trouble. Not going to lie. But we can play a Saga. We can play a Synthesizer. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we need to play the Synthesizer. So what I need is to find a free spell that's 7 mana, like or Frogmite or whatever, to gain some. Nope, bottom. That's disappointing. Play an Ornithopter. What I wanted was a spell like a Mirror Enforcer that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I could play for 1 and equip the Shadow Spear 2. So top card needs to be something like that. Gigantha, unfortunately, not something that can trigger Simulacrum, even if I had the mana and it was in hand, wouldn't trigger the Synthesizer. So I think we need something that we can play for very, very little, whether it's 1 or 0 mana, like a Frogmite, like a Thought Monitor, like a Mirror Force, or Sojourner's Companion, a lot of hits that let us equip the Shadow Spear to then block the Zealtha to then gain enough life to survive another turn. Oh, okay, Brotherhood's End. That's it. That's game. All right, so a 2-3 victory with one of them being an abandoned match. Not the best showing, but always a pleasure to play Affinity. So the deck itself. Let's close this. The deck itself. And so the deck itself, what have we given up from the old version? The version that has... that goes for speed before Synthesizer existed. I'll tell you what we've given up. Cranial Plating is one of them. Patchwork Automaton. Definitely felt the Patchwork Automaton, the lacking patchwork there, whereby the ward is invaluable in the early parts of the game. I think the Cranial Plating is a huge loss. Turning your 0 mana Ornithopter top deck from an absolute dud to a total dominating top deck is not to be scoffed at. I mean, in the cases there are often cases where we might play a Simulacrum Synthesizer, which costs 3, or if we had top decked a whereas when we then top deck an Ornithopter and we play it, nothing happens. But if we had a Cranial Plating, it would also cost 3, 2 to play, 1 to equip, and you get a powerful, say a 6, 7, 8 mana, an 8 power flying attacker. That said, what are we losing if we do that? What do we gain, rather? We gain a lot more resiliency. I felt like the moment Simulacrum Synthesizer lands, suddenly it's on them to win, or they're going to lose in very short order. So maybe the numbers need to be played with. I feel that probably Nettlecyst is just not right for the deck, if I'm being honest. I feel like we might want some more. Maybe it's my impartiality of just because, this is the best card ever. I love this card. But the Mirror Enforcer, we might need some more of those. Maybe we need some patchwork. I just feel like we need a little bit more in the early game to get us through to the synthesizer, because the synthesizer plus any of these, Thought Monitor, Enforcer, any of these just wins the game. But I felt like we were too far behind to be able to do that. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to try and mess around with this. You'll see some more affinity. I love this archetype in this deck, and this just generally this kind of mostly colorless bit of blue and a tiny splash of something else, whether it's black for the cranial plating, green for the pick your poison haywire mites, and so on. It's just this gets me all pumped up and ready to go. So I'm going to play this archetype more. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Class dismissed.